Okay, today we're going to do a quickie change the dimmer for the under counter lights. Now the under counter lights are a line voltage LED fixture. I picked up this Diva dimmer. Is rated for LEDs. Right now I'll just open up the dimmer. Get it out of the box. There's some directions if you want to read them. And there's 3 wires, but we only need 2 and a ground. And also these are close together. And when you break off these tabs, to get it to fit in properly, in the little diagram here, it's a very good explanation of how to take out the old switch. And for a single pole application, that's what we're doing here today. This extra wire, the red wire with the white tracer, is for a 3-way application, which we're not doing today. This is a basic single pole application, and that is the directions in English and in Spanish. You can see on this particular plate that they kind of painted right up to it, so it's kind of sticky. So instead of just trying to pry it off, give it a little score with your knife. As an extra precaution, I always like to put a little blue tape right underneath the, go 2 rows. Especially in some of the houses we work at, the paint job's very, very nice, and I don't want to have any problems of this particular switch here or the other switch dangling and scratching the paint. So I'm going to see if I can change this out. Now once again, I'm doing this hot. If you're a homeowner, please shut the power off, but I'm doing this thing hot. Okay, here's the wires. And the wires are quite long enough. I'm going to cut the ground. Now, these are the stab lock connections in here. And I can stick a little screwdriver in there. You can wiggle these out. There you go, there's one. There's the other one. So one of these is hot. At this point, I don't know what wire is hot. Okay? Either one or the other. And it's a very nice wiring job. Everything's tucked way in the back. I can't tell. So what I'm going to do now is just get out my meter. Okay, this is the hot one right here. Okay? 119 volts to ground. That is the hot wire that's going to be tied to the black of the switch. And this is called the switch leg, which is going to be tied to the red wire of the switch. So this is hot. Can I touch it? Yeah, why can I touch this and not get a shock? Because I'm not grounded. If I touch that, yeah, I'll get a shock. But be careful. If you're a homeowner, shut the electricity off. Here's the extra wire nuts they gave you. The little blue one is for this red. The ground is tinted, which means it's got a little solder on it. Okay, then I always like to do the one that isn't hot first, and then I'll do the hot one next. And I tug on them, make sure they're good and tight. That's the red one. There's something else I always do when I'm hooking up a hot wire. I do the bump. I call it the bump. I just bump it one time, make sure nothing sparks or nothing sparking up. So this is all good and hot. Lights did come on, the switch is on. But before I put the switch in, I want to check and make sure it's going to dim okay. Dim's okay. there is an adjustment on the side here, this little switch here. I can adjust it down a little bit more. So this is a little extra adjustment on the dimmer. So looking at the light, sometimes these LEDs will blink, but this thing seems to be dimming really nice. There it is, full and down. And this switch, I have it cranked way down. You can see it's negative and positive. I'll turn it up. It doesn't dim as far. So I want it to dim more. I'm cranking that little switch down. Now I just have to fold the wires back in. Be careful not to touch anything. We went to install the dimmer, but the other dimmer on this side doesn't have the wings cut off. These actually help dissipate the heat of the dimmer. So I'm going to take my needle nose without trying to take it out and just wiggle them off so I can get. And the reason that the other switch was in there, the other switch was smaller than the dimmer.